Hello everyone, it's Giselle here from Kids Yoga Stories. I help grown-ups teach yoga and mindfulness to children. And today I want to share you a great question that we hear a lot from Susan. And here's what she says. I'm a grandma to two gorgeous granddaughters who enjoy practicing yoga. However, I had a hernia repair and I'm not allowed to practice yoga anymore. How do I lead a 2- and 4-year-old in yoga? Okay, so let's look at this in two different ways. The first way, let's look at Susan or all of us as grown-ups and how we relate to yoga with children. So there's this misconception, probably right, that yoga is only for certain kind of people, certain look, but I want to remind all of us that yoga is for everyone. I just got back from a packed yoga class. Literally, we had this much space between yoga mats. There were all shapes and sizes in the class, okay? So let's remember that yoga really is for everyone. And there are lots of reasons why teachers or parents couldn't practice yoga. For example, we hear from yoga teachers who also had injuries and all of a sudden they're stuck with how do they teach all these lessons to children when they can't practice themselves. Or teachers in the classroom where they feel embarrassed or they lack confidence in being able to practice some of the poses or do some of the mindful activities in case someone walks by or whatever else. So there's lots of situations where either temporarily you can't practice or for the rest of your life, it sounds like in Susan's case. So let's remember, first of all, to honor ourselves, our body, to be grateful for the parts of the body that are working. I'm reminded of this all the time when I'm usually the most inflexible person in class. You would think that because I practice yoga and I do this all the time, that I'd be super flexy, but I'm not. So I'm always having to work on not comparing myself to everyone else in the yoga class and honoring the parts of my body that do work. And last year when I did only restorative yoga, to honor that's what I needed to calm my nervous system, where now I'm able to move, and it's going to take me a while to get back up to being more of an advanced pose, and I haven't been able to do a lot of those big poses. So there's a lot of range in no matter where we are on our journeys of what we might look like and what we were able to do, okay? But to use self-compassion and to honor our bodies and to take a moment to have some gratitude for the bodies that we do have, okay? So there's some self-confidence stuff that needs to happen. That's the first part I would share with you, Susan, is honor where you are in life and be okay with that, okay? The second thing is how do you actually lead a group of children when you can't practice? Well, going back to these 5 C's, in this case, we're going to use 3 of them. These 3 C's that I've been thinking of a lot lately is the first one is sort of inspired by a mindfulness practice, be curious. So be curious about what the children are interested in or where their needs are, where their interests are, what they might like to do. Don't forget that yoga is comprised of different components. It's not just physical postures. It's included with breath work. There's mindfulness, character education, karma yoga, which is service to others, positive affirmations. So there's lots of different areas. And you certainly don't have to necessarily engage just on physical postures if that's not what you feel up to. You might concentrate more on breath work or mindfulness practice or start up a service project with your children. So get curious on what you're interested in and what they might be interested in, and then connect with them. Say to them, hey, guess what? I just came from the surgery and I can't move like I used to. How do you think we can manage this together? Or if you're a yoga teacher who's had a minor injury temporarily, saying, oh, guess what? You're going to have to leave the class because I can't. Or in the classroom, say, who would like to do this? Who would like to get up and show us? Okay, so get the children involved. They don't need you to demonstrate for them. They have that. That's why we have all these resources for you. We have books, we have cards, we have resources that they can look to see how it might look. And don't forget, it's not about perfectly aligned poses, by the way, right? It's about having fun with movement, getting the children moving in a playful way. Yoga at a young age is just about planting the seed. And it may be movement is a way for some children to get there, but ultimately it's about accessing their breath, being able to come to the present moment, right? To be able to move so they can incorporate their inhale and exhale. They'll get to that later when they're ready. But we're right now planting the seed, the love of yoga. Yoga is a lifestyle. It's for the rest of the life, okay? And a little work that you can do, doesn't matter if you've got an injury, right? You're still with them. You're still connecting with them. So the first one was getting curious on what your needs are, connecting with them, find out what they're interested in. And then thirdly is get creative. Get creative. Figure out what's going to work for all of you and which you might find fun and they'll find fun as well. So think about those three things: getting curious, connecting with them, find out their needs, and then getting creative on how you would like to incorporate the different facets of yoga into your session or your experience together. Hopefully that's helpful, Susan. Please reach out if you have any other questions, and if you have any comments or anything to add that would be helpful for Susan, please add your comments below. And if you have any questions, please email me at Giselle@kidsyogastories.com. I would be more than happy to share and include you in our yoga tips that we're doing. We're all in this together. Thank you so much.